In the Elseworld story titled Dark Knights of Steel, fleeing, the destruction of Krypton, Jor-El and Lara crash land on Earth, and are confronted by a group of archers who arrive to investigate from a nearby castle. Jor-El destroys them with his heat vision just as his son, Kal-El, is born. In the nearby Kingdom of Storms, a local peasant boy named Constantine has a vision of demons who will conquer the world while the young King Jefferson listens and orders the prophecy recorded. 19 years later, Bruce, a knight of the Kingdom of El, his manservant and companion Alfred, and the warriors Richard, Duke, Jason, and Stephanie go on a quest to capture a banshee. Prince Kal-El asks to join them, but is forbidden due to his family's vulnerability to magic. The party locates the banshee, and Bruce accuses her of being an assassin sent by King Jefferson, based on knowledge he has gained from his spy in Jefferson's court. The banshee denies this and attacks, with her scream destroying the building they are in but leaving Bruce largely unharmed. She is then apprehended by Bruce with aid from Kal-El and is taken back to the castle, where she is imprisoned in the dungeon, along with other magical beings. Jor-El and Lara, now king and queen, summon them to the throne room where Kal-El admits that he followed Bruce without his knowledge and questions why ordinary men should act on their behalf when he is invincible. Jor-El speaks to Bruce alone. The young knight admits that he should not have survived the banshee's scream and may be cursed, asking to be exiled so that he cannot harm Kal-El. Jor-El reveals to Bruce that he is his father, and that when Bruce's mother, Queen Martha, and her husband Thomas died, the elves adopted him to hide the truth of Bruce's parentage. In a nearby forest, a sorcerer known as the Green Man enchants the arrow of Oliver, Thomas's former courtier who has since turned outlaw, and it successfully kills Jor-El by piercing him in the eye. While Lara and Kal-El grieve, Bruce, his powers seemingly activated by his anger, tracks down Oliver and severs his bow arm. Alfred convinces Bruce not to kill him, and they bring Oliver back to the castle for questioning. The Green Man visits King Jefferson and Constantine, now an accomplished magician, in the Kingdom of Storms, and informs them that Jor-El is dead. Constantine is unnerved, beginning to doubt his own prophecy and warning Jefferson that he has angered the Kingdom of El. General Waller insists on a declaration of war, but the royal jester, Harley, and Alfred counsel against this. Kal-El blames Bruce for failing to protect his father and confronts Oliver in the dungeon, saying he will prove that his family are not the monsters the people believe them to be. On the nearby island of Amazonia, Queen Hippolyta learns of Jor-El's death from the priestess Lois. She goes to the sparring field to inform Jor-El's estranged daughter Zala and her lover, Hippolyta's daughter Diana. Zala flies off enraged, with Lois and Diana fearing that the war they have been trying to prevent is now inevitable. Zala then murders Jefferson's son, Prince Jacob, in front of him. Master Olson sees a falling star, and Bruce and Alfred are sent to investigate by Lara, as it may signify the beginning of the prophecy. The metal men arrive at the impact site first, but are killed by Zala. King Jefferson and Constantine travel to Amazonia, where they meet with Queen Hippolyta, Diana, Lois, and General Philippus, and inform them of Jacob's death. He admits that he had Jor-El killed, and reveals that Zala was responsible for murdering his son, which Diana refuses to believe. Despite this, Hippolyta promises him Amazonia's support in the coming war, causing a disgusted Diana to leave. As Jefferson sails home, he reveals that having Diana removed from the Amazon court was a part of his plan due to her loyalty to the El family. Zala then ambushes and murders the king, who in his dying moments orders Constantine to ensure that Princess Anissa succeeds him. Meanwhile, Bruce finds the kryptonite, and it makes him weak. He confesses to Alfred that Jor-El was his father, and Alfred tells him he already knows. Alfred explains to Bruce that, when the elves originally arrived on Earth, they hid so that their alien nature would not be revealed, but that, when a nearby volcano threatened to destroy the kingdom, they devised a way to prevent it and gave these plans to Luther, King Thomas, and Queen Martha's chancellor, who ignored their warning. The elves were subsequently forced to expose themselves to save the kingdom and became lifelong friends of the king and queen. Though their respective relationships are strained when Jor-El and Martha sleep together, Bruce's birth brings the families back together again. Luther, stripped of his titles, finds a magical ring which twists his sanity, and he attacks the royal carriages, killing Thomas and Martha. Before she dies, Martha anoints Lara the new queen and asks her to raise Bruce. Alfred then tells Bruce that they must avoid war with the Kingdom of Storms at any cost. On the orders of Queen Lara, Harley goes to the Lady of the Forest and asks that she help defend the kingdom. Though critical of the El family, the lady relents and says that she would do anything for Harley. She then apprehends Diana, who reveals that she needs to talk to Zala, who then arrives with Cal. Diana tells Zala that she has been accused of murdering Prince Jacob, which she denies, and explains that the Amazons will stand with the Kingdom of Storms in the war. Bruce and Alfred return to the castle, and Bruce confesses the truth of his parentage to Kal-El, who then stabs him with kryptonite to preserve his family's claim to the throne. Bruce is later found, barely alive, by two peasants, Jonathan and Martha Kent, and is taken to their home. At the Pierces' castle, Constantine uses alcohol to numb the death of King Jefferson, whom he loved. His apprentice Timothy tries to comfort him, and Constantine states that he knows he is a spy for Bruce, and that he deliberately fed him misinformation. Timothy questions why Constantine told him about the magical assassin, and works out that, while he believes in his prophecy that the Els are dangerous, he does not want to start a war. Constantine attacks Timothy and leaves him to the mercy of the enchanted Princess Jennifer. Jennifer tells Timothy to leave and warns him that war is coming. Timothy reports to the court and states that Jefferson was murdered by Zala, who denies this. When everyone is gone, General Waller tells Lara that if Hippolyta were to die, Diana would become queen of the Amazons, and that her love for Zala would prevent the Amazon army from siding with the Kingdom of Storms. Constantine summons the demon Etrigan and asks to speak to his human host Ra's al Ghul, in the hope that he can resurrect Jefferson. Ra's explains that the body is too damaged, but that he will revive Prince Jacob in exchange for information on Constantine's former wards, the Titans. Kal-El flies to Amazonia to try and clear his sister's name and prevent war, but Hippolyta stabs him with a magical sword and imprisons him. Lois comes to his cell to reveal that Amazonian ships are already en route to the kingdom.